There remains one person in Hollywood who defies the lure of time and genre, a man not so much an actor as a force of nature on the silver screen itself. The man who brought Han Solo to life and fearlessly pursued the Holy Grail as Indiana Jones. That man is Harrison Ford. The ruggedly charismatic Harrison Ford made the action films his genre, infusing every picture with a sense of timelessness. However, in recent years there has been a tragic twist to this tale of the mighty star. Now an inescapable reality has fallen on Ford, threatening the very qualities that made him legendary. His story makes a left turn, changing from the exciting stories of his legendary characters to an unforeseen narrative with its moving twist. To understand such a timeless legend at his best, we must delve into the subtleties woven by his legendary roles. For Harrison Ford's memory, we cannot simply remain on the surface of his indomitable character. Without knowing the man behind iconic characters, it is impossible to understand fully what depth and verisimilitude he brought out of an individual who has come to stand for cinematic perfection. Are you sitting down? Because here it comes. The man behind the characters, the stories that changed a generation, and the surprising twists of fate that have made Harrison Ford one of this century's most enduring icons. A maverick takes flight. Harrison Ford's rise to fame is no more conventional than the screen characters he was later credited with creating. Born in Chicago in 1942, young Ford's childhood life held little to indicate a future of films and fame. From initially pursuing radio voiceovers, Ford's path changed when he was naturally attracted to acting. It was a surprising turn as his journey took a new direction from the Midwest to New York City, where he survived off bartending while taking acting classes and going to auditions. Ford experienced the familiar early travails of getting some minor roles in off-Broadway plays and TV spots. But the curveball in Ford's story came in 1981 when he landed the role of adventurous archaeologist Indiana Jones for the first movie of the series, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Not only did this film define his career, but it truly launched him into Hollywood superstardom as well. Like the whip-wielding archaeologist uncovering hidden treasures, Harrison Ford discovered his fortune in one of the cinema's most surprising turns ever. Fact hit number 1. Harrison scared director Steven Spielberg and the crew during Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in 1984, when, without warning, he ran out across the rope bridge used in the film's climax to test its safety. Spielberg later quipped, "What can I say? Harrison really is Indiana Jones." How Harrison Ford's leap into action cemented his Hollywood career. In 1981, Harrison Ford began a path that would transform his career and establish him as one of the greats in Hollywood, Indiana Jones. When cast as the adventurous archaeologist in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Ford brought with him a charisma and rugged charm that transcended his previous work. Besides becoming a film landmark, Raiders of the Lost Ark propelled Ford into another level of celebrity. The film's success, coupled with Ford's magnetic on-screen presence, made the floodgates open wider still to offer for more action-packed blockbusters. The prospect of being one of Hollywood's leading men put the opportunity within Ford's reach, a tempting carrot that has shaped his career in many ways. The route he selected, rooted in action roles, prepared the way for an eternally remembered place among cinema's immortals. Fact hit number 2. Did you know? He replaced Kevin Costner in Air Force One, 1997, after Kevin had to turn the part down while still being heavily involved in filming The Postman, 1997, and suggested Harrison for the part, breaking boundaries in the cinematic realm. And in the 1990s, Harrison Ford discovered that he had gotten caught up too in a cinematic persona, stuck at playing roles such as Indiana Jones and Han Solo. But longing to demonstrate the extent of his acting powers, Ford took a calculated risk in exploring different realms of storytelling. In films like Witness and The Fugitive, Ford played dramatic characters fighting moral battles or dealing with the many facets of human life. In Air Force One, the audience saw Ford's many talents as he effortlessly combined action with an interesting plot line in this story of a president fighting terrorists. He demonstrates further versatility in lighter roles of a comic nature, as proven by his appearance with Anne Heche on the set of 6 Days, 7 Nights. Despite continued boundary pushing, Ford never lost touch with his roots. His back to the Indiana Jones series is a case in point. Harrison Ford shattered preconceived notions about himself through this variety of roles and emerged as a well-rounded actor capable of compelling audiences around any click. A Hollywood legend in the skies. By the first decade of the century, he was not only a major movie star, but also an evergreen legend. He developed a reputation for playing characters that were tough and seemingly invincible, but also possessed the kind of compelling vulnerability. The name Ford drew enthusiastic audiences from every corner of the globe, with any film he made becoming an event in and of itself. By his peak years, a single phone call could seal him behind closed doors at $20 million per film alone, even while shooting another picture elsewhere. Yet, as Ford achieved new heights as a professional, his personal life was going through major changes. His 18-year marriage to screenwriter Melissa Matheson ended in divorce in 2004. Despite that, Ford's dedication to family life never wavered. Ford next turned to actress Callista Flockhart for companionship, and the couple got married in 2010. This stage of life brought profound fulfillment to Ford. He said, in his own words, "Being a father was far greater than any other role or achievement. Though the clamor of action hero roles and the unrelenting spotlight of fame threatened at times to upend him, during all these years, it was his role as a devoted family man that ultimately would come to give Harrison Ford an anchor when he soared among Hollywood stars." Ford also holds a few other impressive achievements, including rescuing 2 hikers on different occasions using his own aircraft in support of local rescue efforts in both 2000 and 2001. He then stated that he would stop rescuing people because he didn't want to take the credit away from the real rescuers that are out there every day. Fact hit number 3. When he played Indiana Jones, Ford wasn't always a master of the iconic whip. In the classic scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he takes a gun out of an opponent's hand with one smooth motion, numerous takes are needed to get it right. Having spent nearly 3 decades on the silver screen, Harrison Ford was a Hollywood legend, and legendary roles rolled off his tongue like mantras. His depictions of fearless adventurers and charismatic heroes were the very definition of cinematic quality. We sure know Ford is a strong man on and off the screen. Such events that showcase this include his crash landing of a vintage World War II aircraft on a golf course at Santa Monica in 2015, where he suffered a broken ankle, pelvis, back, and a bump on the head. And also on June 11, 2014, during the filming of the long-awaited Star Wars sequel, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Ford supposedly had his ankle broken when a hydraulic door fell on him. He was airlifted to John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, England for treatment. As he recuperated from his injury, Ford was on a 2-month hiatus from filming, which ended in mid-August. Although Ford's character in The Force Awakens died, word came out that through a casting announcement that Ford would reprise his role as Solo for Episode 8. Obviously, when the cast for Episode the 8th, announced in February 2016, was revealed, Ford did not play that part after all. When Ford was asked whether Solo could come back in some form, he replied, "Anything is possible in space." He eventually made an uncredited appearance as a vision in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker in 2019. During his career, the star who acted his way into cinematic history has confronted unimaginably hard struggles. Life beyond the silver screen brought personal and professional problems that would challenge Ford's determination. One such battle took place during the early days of his acting career, when he was trying to break free from being seen as a carpenter-turned-actor, a label given him before landing his landmark role in Star Wars, playing Han Solo. During this time, he struggled just like everyone else with casting directors' skepticism. Besides professional obstacles, Ford faced a string of setbacks that echoed his devotion to his trade. He suffered a severe back injury during filming of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom while fighting off one-legged thuggy assassins. He remembered the demanding shoot vividly. The pain was excruciating, but he persevered despite enormous physical discomfort to deliver a sterling performance. The unrecorded war against pain and injury that he fights day in and night out is a testament to both his devotion as a craftsman and the degree of inner suffering which Ford will endure for an authentic performance. Even in the world outside of Hollywood, Harrison Ford has long had another kind of unseen crusade for earthly well-being. He's an environmentalist. As an enthusiastic conservationist, Ford has struggled against deforestation, poaching, and climate change. He also used his platform to raise awareness and funds by getting involved with organizations such as Conservation International. He has been continuously engaged on a global scale for the creation of a sustainable and healthier world, which often remains hidden amidst numerous cinematic successes. As our conversation winds down, the echoes of this man's impact in Hollywood forever stay loud. So stay safe and keep entertained. The silver screen continue to shine bright.